Hello, everyone. My name is George Bedian. I come from Cameroon. So I'm a medical doctor, also medical informatics specialist, trained at the University Hospitals and University of Geneva. I have a position of lecturer at the Faculty of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences of University of Yaoundé 1. Since 2 years, I introduced the course in medical informatics in pregraduate trainings about medical students in this faculty. So I'm going to talk about the Bogu software, which is a telemedicine platform developed by the RAF network in order to support health professionals in care in Africa. So the presentation has the following plan. First, we will talk about the background. Then we will present the Bogu telemedicine platform. After, we will illustrate some implementation with Bogu in the world. And lastly, we talk about challenges and lessons learned about our experience. So regarding the background, we know that there is a critical shortage of healthcare professionals around the world. In 2006, WHO estimated that this shortage represents 7.2 million of healthcare professionals. As you know, Africa is most concerned, especially in remote setting. The trend is almost the same in other ways. So as other difficulty, there may be mentioned the lack of financial resources, the lack of functional infrastructure, for example, roads, electricity, potable water, and also the low access to the internet. This is an example of a hospital we started to operate with the RAF in 2001. It's a remote hospital in Dogon, Mali, delivering primary health care, where the RAF network started to operate. It is 800 kilometers away from the Bamako, the capital, 150 kilometers away from the first internet connection at this time. So now 3G internet connection is present. These issues are not specific to Africa, as you can see in this picture, showing the emergency room of district hospital of Dankuta in the mountain of eastern of Nepal. So it is the reference hospital for a population of 200,000 of inhabitants. So in this situation, considering this difficult condition, we have several challenges. The first is how to provide quality care in remote settings, how to recruit and retain healthcare professionals in these remote settings, and finally, how to keep up to date their knowledge and skills being in this remote setting. So to address this problem, RAF network aimed to supporting healthcare professionals where they are most needed, using two main activities. The first activity is e-learning. It's mainly based on continuing medical education, especially for healthcare in professional settings, and postgraduate medical education. Yesterday, Dr. Lynn Kleinbein showed you in practice how we can handle and capture knowledge and disseminate using webcasting tool called Doodle. So the second activity we use is the telemedicine, mainly based on tele-expertise. I will explain the concept after. Since 2003, the RAF network started to be deployed, firstly in French-speaking African countries. In 2008, we started to operate in some English-speaking African countries. In 2012, in Latin America, especially in the Bolivian Altiplano. In 2014, we started to operate in Angola. And since 2015, the network is deployed in Central and Southeast Asia, namely in Kyrgyzstan and Nepal. So RAF is also a network of partners. The project is led by University Hospital and the University of Geneva. It's a WHO collaborating center for eHealth. RAF also has a strategic partnership with UNFM, in French is Université Numérique Francophone Mondiale, which is a French NGO devoted to the creation and the dissemination of quality education, especially in an environment of scarcity by using ICT. In addition, several partnerships could be put in place if there is an opportunity. Somewhat about the Bobo telemedicine software. This software aims at supporting healthcare professionals, including in remote settings, by enabling exchanges among virtual community of healthcare providers around difficult clinical cases. This application is deployed since 2012. So as you understood before, we started in 2001. So before we was used the iPad telemedicine platform, who was the software developed by University of Basel. So as Ellie said, it's a software for organizing. Software is organized in several virtual community for remote collaboration around the management of difficult clinical case. The case can be submitted in different formats using, for example, HTML, PDF, or image formats. The expertise is performed asynchronously. It means that there is delay between the submission, when you have a request for healthcare provider and the expertise advice. Bobo could be used for different situations. For example, for improvement of care access for people living in remote settings. Second, for training, namely continuing education for healthcare providers in remote setting. And finally, for the implementation of task shifting, for example, provision of specialized care by other professionals in remote supervision. About highlight of technology we use is a Java language application. It's required different clients to access it, namely HTML5 web client and Android client. So as it deals with medical data, access to Bobo application is very, very secure. We use login and password to access it, and we use the asymmetric cryptography to encrypt medical data. Just few words about the principles of the use of this platform. So generally, the general practitioner perform a clinical examination, which may or may not be coupled with some medical electronic device, for example, ECG, ultrasound, and ophthalmoscope. Then he sent a request for remote expertise to the specialist by Bobo platform. And after, once the request has been received by this specialist, he carry out a remote and asynchronous expertise. This expertise consists of giving diagnostic advice, of making recommendation about the management of patients. Bogu also integrates interoperability aspects in the management and the transfer of images. So when images are produced by some medical device, for example, ultrasonography and X-ray, they can be retrieved automatically from given modality via the Bogu using the what we call the DICOM receiver, and enable it to transfer it in the web for teleradiology or tele-ultrasonography. We can imagine some other use case. So it's not yet implemented in Bogu, but there is possibility to make a tele-expertise with from hospital which has a PACS-based image management system. As you know, it's a medical imaging. PACS is a medical imaging technology which provides management, storage, and convenient access to image from multiple modalities. So we have several solutions. We have commercial solutions, but we have some open source solutions. The most popular of them is called DSM-48 DICOM application. About the use of the state of the use of Bogu, it is now we have 650 users. We have 77 existing SQL. It's the virtual community. We have 3,000 cases submitted in this application. We have more than 9,000 posts. And during this last month, October 2018, 100 discussions were created. Now, we are going to talk about some implementation with Bogu. Several implementations have already been made with Bogu, especially in member country of the RAT network. The different the different health domain concern general medicine, pathology, dermatology, cardiology, echography, ophthalmology, and so on. So this is an example of implementation of tele-ultrasound in Cameroon, in this hospital of Ngumu, which is a city located to 50 kilometers from Yaoundé, the capital. As illustrated in this picture, you can see doctors who are proved to show the possibility that telemedicine offers in setting a new health service in this locality. So the main output of this project was the improvement of population access to ultrasound in primary health care, especially in obstetrics. Another one concerns the implementation of emergency tele-ultrasound in another district hospital in Cameroon, which is in the city called Sa. It is close to a major accident-causing road that connects the capital with the west and northwest regions. So the output of this project was the improvement of the management of patients with abdominal thoracic trauma. This is another implementation we realized in Guinea, in Sabadou Baranoma village. So given the constraint in terms of availability of material, especially of gel, we use shea butter to replace ultrasound gel. That was the main innovation of this project. It is the same in the Bolivian Altiplano project, where the teleultrasound was deployed as illustrated in this picture. Effect of this project were, you see, sensitization of population to better follow appointment and consultation, strengthening the reputation of the Tikina Health Center, which is a center where telemedicine project was implemented. And also this project led to the establishment of a government telemedicine project in 300 hospitals at national level. The project also contributed to establishment of national tele-expertise center for the country. Other positive effects, we can mention the fostering of new type of South-South collaboration. As you see in this picture, we have Professor Touré from Mali who is teaching ultrasound to doctor and midwife in Mauritania. Now, some highlight about challenges and lessons learned. So one of the main issues of the RAF network is the sustainability of its activity. So based on 15 years of activity on the international level, we identify some key challenges and learn some lessons for sustainability and hierarchy telemedicine in this context, especially in Africa. So regarding social and organization aspect, we could evoke the involvement of local actors in different activities, for example, in design, implementation, coordination, and in monitoring. So in most of countries, RAF activities involve people who are academically and or politically influential. This is we call top-down approach, but also it's involved motivated commitment people to take advantage of the potential of e-health. It's called bottom approach. Second, we have the need of the institutional anchoring of this activity. RAF often finance telemedicine project during the first 2 or even 3 years, the time of demonstration of the utility of this given project. So after, the agreement is often made with local authorities to ensure that the continuation of the financing, in particular for the maintenance of equipment, the purchase of consumables, and the internet connection. But in our experience, some sites have been able to meet this challenge. It's true that it's not always the case. So it's one of our biggest challenge. Second, regarding the human resources, it's required to organize regular capacity building sessions for stakeholders, and also is required to promote the creation of local centers for excellence in order to train local experts. Thirdly, about software development, we should have software able to run on multiple devices, including mobile devices, with multiple operating systems, with low and unstable bandwidth, and guaranteeing the good data security and interoperability. One of the examples of the creating of center of excellence in Mali is illustrated in this picture. This is Professor Bagayoko. He's presenting his first 3 PhD in medical informatics trained at the University of Bamako. So this approach provides more human resources and skills for a country, which is critical for the success of telemedicine intervention in this setting. About economy and financing, costs for development and implementation of e-health anti-missing activity should be low. Suitable business model and sustainability, suitable business model to sustainably finance virus errors and anti-missing activity should be also developed. Regarding the partnership, you know that the establishment of multiple partnerships is required at the local or international level. The occasion for me to congratulate the partnership we have with WHO and also with UNFM. This kind of a collaboration drew many positive results. Now you can see on this presentation. Also, the emphasis should be made on South-South cooperation. You know, some problem can be solved more simply and cost effectiveness when it can be managed at the regional or sub-regional level. Thirdly, regarding policy and legislation proposal, countries should progressively implement national health strategy. And we should put emphasis in scientific society for promotion at the national level of local proposal force. So know that most of medical informatics society in Africa were created under the impulse of RAF network, especially in Mali, in Tunisia, in Cameroon, in Ivory Coast, in Chad, in Gabon, in Bolivia. And finally, regarding research should help to demonstrate the positive impact of e-health or telemedicine for health system in order to convince decision makers. So a lot of research work is done and continue to be done within the RAF network with this goal. I think it's the last. Okay. So thank you for your kind attention.